operations pa lang. Tama ba? Yo, ano huli natin diniscuss? Yung matrix nga. Matrix operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication. Ano? Tama?
Determinants po.
Determinants po.
Nakapag-determinants na ako? Tunay?
Yes po.
Saan natapos?
Doon po sa properties.
Expansion po.
Yung Friday na naputol. Ano? So, doon tayo sa... properties. Natapos ko na itong properties natin.
Hindi po.
Ano to? Okay, sige. Recall na lang natin. Ano? So, our properties for determinants, first is the reflection change. Ano? Ibig sabihin, the determinant is equal even if the rows and columns are changed or they are transposed. Ano? So, if you have a matrix A and you get its transpose, so the determinant of A is also equal to the determinant of the transposed matrix. Next, for the all zero property, so if any of the elements of a row or column ng ating matrix ay 0, ibig sabihin lahat ng row niya ay 0 or all of the columns are 0, ibig sabihin the determinant will be 0. Next, yung number 3 natin is if all elements of a row or column are proportional or identical to the elements of some row or column, so our determinant is 0 also. Ano? Yan nga natin ko. So, ito, if your A, so that is also equal to the determinant of the transpose. This one is, let's say you have 1, 2, 3 na 0. Kahit ano ang kanyang values doon sa other rows and columns, so the determinant, if this is your matrix A, so your determinant of A is equal to 0. If you have identical, let's say this is matrix B and you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, identical siya na row or column, and then kahit anong number nito, so still your determinant, ano po, of the matrix is equal to 0. Next, so switching property is ko lang. So let's say you have 1, 0, 0, 2, 3, 5, negative 1, 3, 2, ano? And then, nag-interchange tayo ng row and column. Let's say this is matrix C. And then, this is 2, 3, 5. And then 1, 0, 0, negative 1, 3, 2. So, your determinant of B is equal to the determinant or negative of the determinant of your C. Kasi nag-interchange kayo ng any row and column. Next is, if you have the scalar multiple property, ibig sabihin, all elements of a row or column of a determinant will be multiplied by a non-zero constant, therefore by the same constant. Ano? So the scalar multiple property is that if, for example, you have matrix A, which is equal to 2, 3, 1, dami ko number na naisip, 4, 0, negative 1, 2, 0, 2. Let's say, ganyan yung ating A. Ano? And then, ang ginawa natin is that we multiply. Let's say we have matrix B. And then all the elements of matrix of the row 1, this is column 1, will be multiplied by 2. Let's say this is 4 times 2, 6 times 2, 2. Ano? 4, 0, negative 1, 2, 0 and 2. Therefore, your determinant of A is also equal to uh, the determinant of B will be equal to 2 times the determinant of A. Ano? Kasi isa sa row ni A, isa sa column ni A, which is for etong 2, 3, 1, minultiply natin siya sa 2 para sa ano po? Yan. So, all the sum property naman, if you add any row or column by one row or column, pwede nyo siyang i-distribute. Ano po? Kagaya nito. Let's say A1, A2, A3, C1, C2, C3, D1, D2, D3. And then you have B1, B2, B3. So, yung isang column natin, pwede nyo siyang i-add with the first column and their determinants will still have the same. Ano po? Will still get the same determinant. Ano po? Both this easy to observe matrices. So, hindi natin siya madalas makikita. Ano po? Next, we have the property of invariance wherein the value of a determinant will be unchanged if any row or column is multiplied by a number and then added or subtracted to any other row. So, ito naman is just like our row elementary operations, wherein nagmumultiply tayo ng isang row or determinant sa unang beses lang na makita niya siya. Ano po? Yan. Next is the linear combination property. So, if the that times 2. Ito. Next, that is 3 times 4 plus 2 times 2 for the second element. Next, this is
Ma'am,
2
excuse po. Ma'am, wala po yung PPT niyo, ma'am. Hindi po naka-present.
Times 5. Oh, bakit?
Ma'am, wala po. Tsaka ano po, naglalag din
Daw.
po kayo, ma'am.
Okay, saan ako napapunta? Sige, alam niyo na yan. Oh, next, ito na lang. Inverse usually, madali naman siya, the linear combination. Tsaka itong property of invariance and then the sum property. Yan, kasi hindi siya agad makikita by simply observing. Ano? Kumbaga, iisipin nyo muna siya, i-analyze nyo yung determinants. Yung
Ma'am, excuse po. Naglalag pa din po kayo, ma'am.
ala, ayaw ko na. Lagi na napuputol. Okay, nakikita niyo na. Last na ito. Gaano gato kahaba? O, kakaunti na pala. Nakikita niya ga? Yung aking PowerPoint. Ito lang yung
Yes,
aking... Sige. So, ang i-discuss lang natin is yung inverse. Ano? And then, sa ating face-to-face, we'll have examples for the inverse. Ano? Para at least meron tayong idea doon. Okay. So, yung una natin, for the inverse, unang-una, kailangan siya ay square matrix. No? So, if your matrix is not a square matrix, ibig sabihin, the number of rows and the number of columns are not equal, hindi nyo siya makukuhanan ng inverse. Ano po? Hindi nyo siya makukuhanan ng inverse. Next, our inverse is denoted by a to the negative 1. Kasi nga, sabi ko sa inyo, this is the division or this is the notation for the division of matrices. Pero actually, in operations, wala tayong division ng matrix. So, ang ginagamit natin dyan is the inverse. Ano? Wherein, if you multiply the matrix by its inverse, so it is also equal to an identity matrix. Ano? So, tandaan natin, when you multiply a matrix by its inverse, the answer is the identity matrix. So, if you have an 2 by 2 square matrix and you multiply it to the square matrix, the inverse of that same matrix, so ang magiging sagot niya is a 2 by 2 identity matrix. So, if you have a 3 by 3 matrix, minultiply niyo siya by its inverse, syempre 3 by 3 din yon. Therefore, your identity matrix is a 3 by 3. Ano, hopefully ngayon alam na natin or sa ulo na natin kung ano yung identity matrix. Ano? So, next, kapag siya ay square matrix, siya ay may inverse. So that is denoted by a to the negative 1. If you multiply the inverse by the matrix, the answer is the identity matrix. Now, yung ating inverse also will exist if the matrix is singular. Ano po? Ano pag sinabing singular? Our determinant is not equal to 0. Ibig sabihin, may value yung ating determinant. Ano? Kasi, if you have a determinant equal to 0, if you know the steps in finding the inverse, makikita nyo na wala kayong makukuha sagot. Ano? Yan. So, ang una natin, dapat the determinant is not equal to 0 para makuha natin ang inverse. Now, paano daw ba natin kinukuha ang inverse ng matrix? So, first, we have, una, kailangan nyo munang isolve ang determinant of the matrix. Ano po? Next, you obtain a cofactor matrix wherein you replace each element of the matrix A with its cofactors. Ano po? So, the cofactors, be reminded that the cofactor is assigned minor. Ano po? So, you can use our sign matrix para makuha nyo yung sign ng each element na papalitan nyo ng cofactors. Next, we obtain the adjoint. So, ADJA is adjoint matrix by getting the transpose of the cofactor matrix. Actually, your 2 and 3 can be interchanged. Ano, pwedeng magbaliktad yung ating steps 2 and 3. Ano, and it will still generate the same answer. Pero ako, ito na ang sinusunod ko. Inuuna ko munang kunin si cofactor matrix and then saka ko siya itatranspose to get the adjoint matrix. After that, you can obtain the inverse, which is a to the negative 1, which is equal to the adjoint matrix divided by the determinant. Ano po? Or 1 over a times the adjoint a. Ano po? So, this is just like the scalar multiplication wherein fraction naman, yung imumultiply nyo with the matrix. Ano, with the adjoint matrix. So, let's have an example. So, let's say you have A, which is equal to 3, 1, 0, 1, negative 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Siguro naman ako'y hindi mapuputol na. Kasi, kayo ay ako ay naka-cellphone na data. Yes. Nakakainis nga. Pati excellent ako. Yan. So, let's say this is your matrix. Ano, and then, we need to find its inverse. So your A is a 3 by 3 matrix. This is your matrix A, that is 3, 1, 0, 1, negative 1, 2, and then 1, 1, 1. So, this is your matrix A. First, ano ating, anong tawag doon? Ano nga ang ating unang step? Our first step is first to find the determinant. So, to find the determinant of the matrix, you type equals M. Okay, lagyan muna natin siya ng absolute value of A. Yan. Equal to. So, that is equal to M, the term for determinant. And then, just highlight the matrix and then enter. Therefore, your determinant of A is negative 8. Ano po? Yan. Next. Ang sunod natin na steps. Nasaan yung ating PowerPoint? So, our next step is to obtain a cofactor matrix by replacing each element of matrix A with its cofactor. So, kailangan nating magpalit ng ating matrix. So, since this is a 3 by 3, so mag-highlight tayo ng 3 by 3 matrix. Ano? So, kailangan natin ng ilang square? 3. Para lang makita nyo kung ano yung ating So, kailangan daw siyang i-replace with the cofactors. So, yung 3 natin, ito yon. So, papalitan natin siya ng cofactor. So, alin na matitira? So, deleting or omitting the rows and columns. So, ito yung ating maiiwan. Ano po? For our 3. Tapos, ilalagay na lang natin yung ating, later, lalagay natin yung ating sign. Ano po? Next, for this element, alin ang maiiwan? Si 1, 0, at saka si 1, 1. For the third element, ito naman, since i-omit nyo si row and columns. I-replace nyo siya dun ha. Next, for this element, so ito, diba? 1, 1, 2, and 1. Next, for this element in the middle, so si 3, 0, 1, 1. For this one, this is a 2, 3. So, alin ang ating minors? 3, 1, 0, 2. Next, for this element, 0. So, for this element, 0, ang maiiwan natin, ito, 1, negative 1, 1, 1. Next, for this element, this is, nasa tayo? Nasa 2. So, ang maiiwan is 3, 1, 1, 1. Ito yung kanyang minor. Next, for the last element, 1. So, ito naman. Yan. So, take note doon sa mga nalipat natin na minors. Minors pa lang yan, ano? Yan. So, ngayon, ang sunod natin kukunin is our determinant ng minors. So, ang matitira sa atin dapat is, kopyahin natin para lang makita natin. Ano? So, kailangan mag-combine na siya. And then, dapat pala walang nakalaman para ano. Kinumbine ko lang, i-merge ko lang yung cell ha, hindi yan nasagot. Yan. So, ang sunod natin, kukunin nyo yung determinant ng kada minor. And then, imumultiply nyo siya by its, ano ngayon, sign. Diba? Kasi siya ay signed minor. Yung cofactor matrix natin is a signed minor. So, if you remember our cofactor, your signed, signed matrix, so, ang atin ay 3 by 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, ano yung sign natin dito? This is positive. This is positive. And then, this one is negative. This is positive. This is negative. This is, ano yun? Nagkakalaman. Positive. Kasi siya ay formula. Yan. And then, this is positive. This is negative. And then, this is positive. Oops, positive. Yan. Hindi kasi ako makapagsulat gawa ng GNG. Yan. So, ang ating sign matrix. Yan. Ito yung ating guide para dun sa ating sign for the cofactor. Diba? So, these are your minors from the elements here, from the matrix. So, these are your minors. And then, imumultiply nyo siya sa sign. Ano po? So, kukunin nyo yung determinant ng kada isang minor. So, ano ang determinant nun? So, that is MD term for each minor. This one. Then, MD term. So, paano ba natin kinukuha ang determinant ng dalawang matrix? Ng 2 by 2 matrix. So, kailangan you multiply the diagonals going downward and then you multiply the diagonals going upward. Tapos, isusubtract nyo siya sa kada isa. Then this one is equal to MD term. Gawa tayo exercise sa ating ano. Then equals MD term ulit ng ating minor. Yan. So ito yung ating wala pang sign. Ano? Na minor. So since this is positive, di ba ito yon? So positive siya, this one should be negative. So kailangan ito ay maging negative 1. This is positive, so it will remain. Ito naman, negative, so dapat ito ay positive 1. Next, 1. Positive 1. Yan. This one is positive, so it will remain. Yung negative ito, so this is negative 6. Next, this is positive. Ito yan. So positive 2, this is negative, so ito dapat ay negative 2. This one is positive. So it will remain. Ano po? Yan. Therefore, this is now your cofactor matrix. Ano po? Cofactor of A. Ibig sabihin, yung ating kanina na original matrix, that is 3, 1, 0, 1, negative 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, is replaced by its cofactors. Ano po? So this is now your new matrix. Next, after you get the cofactor of A, kailangan natin kunin si adjoint A. So, ang gagawin natin is you will transpose your cofactor matrix. Ano? So, kung ito ay 3, negative 1, 2, pahiga siya. So, dito naman siya. So, that is negative 3 pala, negative 3, negative 1, at saka 2. This is your second row. So, siya na may magiging second column. So, that is 1, 3, negative 6. Next, this is 2, negative 2, negative 4. So, dito naman siya. Negative 2 at saka negative 4. So, this is now your adjoint A. Ano po? So, tandaan, adjoint A is the transpose of the cofactor matrix. After that, anong sunod natin gagawin? You will divide each element of adjoint A over the determinant. So, to get A to the negative 1, paano ba na tinataas yan? So, A to the negative 1, it is equal to the adjoint A divided by the determinant. So, ibig sabihin ito, i-divide nyo siya by, ano yung determinant natin kanina? Negative 8. So, i-divide nyo to. Equals nito, divided by negative 8. Ano po? Yan. And then, pwede naman siya na naka-decimal place. Pwede rin naman na gawin nyo siyang fractions. Yan. So, ito naman yung ating inverse of the matrix. Ano po? So, usually, our inverse is not exact numbers. Ano, meron tayong madalas na may decimal place na siya, meron siyang naka-fraction. So, kapag manual yung ating solution, it's better to use fractions. Ano? Yan. Okay. Yan. So, yan yung ating steps for our inverse. Ito yan. So, ito yung inverse natin. So, what are the properties of the inverse matrix? So, if you have the inverse or if you need to get the inverse of the inverse, it is equal to the original matrix. When you have a product of matrices AB and you get its inverse, it is also equal to the inverse of each matrix multiplied by each other. Ano? And then next, we have, so siya ay baliktad naman. So if you have A, B to the negative 1, baliktad yung ating order. B to the negative 1 multiplied by A to the negative 1. Kasi hindi siya commutative, di ba? Next, if you have an inverse raised to an exponent, it is also equal to A raised to that exponent, let's say A squared, and then saka nyo kukunin si inverse. Ano? Equal siya. Next, we have, kasi greater than 0 because if your P is equal to 0, still it is equal to 1. Ano po? It is equal to 1. Any number raised to 0 is 1. Next, the inverse of a matrix is equal to 1 over the determinant of A. Ano po? And then next, we have, kulang to. That is 1 over the determinant of A times adjoint A. Ano po? And then this is, when you get the transpose of the inverse, it is also equal to the inverse of the transpose. Ano po? So, yan yung properties natin ng inverse of the matrix. So, the inverse of a symmetric matrix is always symmetric. The inverse of a diagonal matrix is diagonal whose entries are the reciprocals of the entries of the original matrix. Ano po? So, if you have a diagonal matrix, so ang kanyang inverse ay also the diagonal, i-reciprocate nyo lang yung entries nun sa original matrix. Ano po? Ibig sabihin, reciprocal, ano ba pag sinabi nating reciprocal? That will become, for example, you have 1. So, reciprocal nun ay 1 pa din. Pagka 2, ano reciprocal ng 2? That is 1/2. Ano? Yan. Okay, questions doon sa ating inverse at saka kung paano siya kunin. Okay na. Wala na tayong question. So, next meeting, kailan next meeting natin? Friday. We will be having face-to-face, right?
Yes po.
Sige. On Friday, we'll be having exercises on dun sa na-discuss natin, inverses at saka matrix operations. Ano? And then, may assignment ga ako sa inyo? Wala, no? Meron. May assignment ako sa inyo. Oo, yung kaninang nasa module. Yung minors of the matrix cofactor, tama?
Yes po.
Sige. So, yun, i-discuss natin siya or isosolve natin siya by Friday. Ano po? And then, we'll have exercises for the inverse. Tapos, if ever there is still time, di-discuss natin yung kasunod nating topic. Ano po? Okay tayo doon. Tingnan ko lang.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Pwede na tayong mag-end ng ating klase. Ha?